So I hope you guys are doing well. What's up, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever you are, guys. It's your boy Michelle again, and welcome back to our Thursday Trends live sessions, right? So right now we are having three signals, right? We are having three signals going live. Before I show you the breakdown of yesterday's trades, we have three live currently running signals, right? We have the first one that we took was on what? Was on gold right here. And the second one was GBP USD, right? And the third one, it is what? It is AUD JPY. So I'm just going to do the breakdown. I'm just going to show you the analysis of what caused us to take this entry, right? It's just all the analysis right here of these two, right? GBP USD, as you can see, we have a clear downtrend here. 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. We have a clear downtrend, right? We have a clear downtrend. And seeing right now here, we are making a retest of the what? Of the neckline. We can see that we have a chart pattern, left shoulder, head, and also what? Right shoulder here, a chart pattern. And we are retesting the neckline, although it's after a long time, but a retest is a retest, and it is what? It is very effective. So we have a break and retest of the what? Of the head and shoulders pattern, right? Which is a what? A reversal pattern, which shows a downtrend. I always tell you guys, there's nothing more pleasing than seeing a, a retest, right? There's nothing more pleasing than seeing a double bottom in an uptrend, right? Or seeing a double top in a downtrend, or seeing a head and shoulders pattern in a downtrend, or in inverted head and shoulders in an uptrend. It is just it is just so pleasing, guys. It yes, uh, you have confidence in that trade, right? So if this trade is a stop loss hit, it's all well and good because everything is according to our plan. As you all know, guys, I always take my trades according to what? To five conditions. All right. I look at condition number one. I look at entry. All right. First of all, I look at entry. Right. The entry is the last one. First of all, I look at trend. Right. The trend is the first one which I look at, and trend is determined by our what? Our exponential moving averages. I use only the 21 exponential moving average and the 50 moving average, right? Which is represented by these emojis. If you see the 4 hour facing upwards, right, it just shows you that the third the 21 moving average, right, was above the 50 moving average, which means the slower moving average was below what? The faster moving average. For this to be clear, let me just show you what the moving averages are there. After I see this, right, I usually remove them to make my chart what? To make my chart cleaner, right? So I remove them to make the chart clean. So let me just show you what I mean. If I move my chart to the 4 hour time frame, you can see that the green moving average is above the what? Red moving average. The red moving average is the 50 EMA, and the green moving average is the what? Is the 21 EMA, which is the what? Faster moving average, and this one being the what? The slower moving average, right? When a slower moving average is below what a faster moving average, it shows a what a potential upward momentum, right? But going now in the 1 hour, the slower moving average was now what above the faster moving average. This shows a potential what a potential a downward momentum, and same applies in the 30 minute, right? It is showing a potential what downwards momentum. So this is how I detect my bias, or let's say a daily bias for a particular session, right? After that, I can either draw trend lines or draw market structure, right? So considering our trend, right? We have everything in place here, right? We have our bias. Then we have our areas of interest. Areas of interest, they can be support as well as resistance, right? And they can also be what fair value gaps, right? Right now, we are retesting a neckline of a what of a head and shoulders as we have already spoken, right? So I have my what optimum trading zone well covered. So I have my trend and my optimum trading zone, right? What what I need is an additional confluence. An additional confluence is the chart pattern which we already covered, and what an entry signal. We had our entry signal right here. Although we entered here because we were late to come on the charts, but our entry signal was this bearish engulfing candle, right? Which engulfed this small bullish candle right here. That was our entry signal. And moving on to the other chart, right? AUDJPY. So on our signal on AUDJPY is the same thing. Right now, we are now looking at the what 1 hour fair value gap, right? We have a fair value gap right here in the 1 hour. That is our area of interest. So let me just draw it so that it can be seen. But when you are now having a long time in this, whilst you are executing these things, right? You will now be used to this. You just see it even if without drawing. You just what you just see it clearly once you are uh, browsing through through your time frames. So in the 1 hour time frame, we have a what a fair value gap which is being retested. So first of all, I'm looking at trend. Do I have my trend? I do not even need to what to redraw these emojis to show you guys that in the 4 hours, 1 hour, and 30 minutes, there's an uptrend according to our what exponential moving averages. There's a upward bias. So to, to just show you guys, right, we are seeing in the 4 hour, the red one is below the what the green one, which shows what an uptrend. In the 1 hour, the red one is also what below the green one to show a what a potential upward momentum. In the 30 minutes is the same thing. So this movie has a what high potential of what going upward than what than downward. I have my what my session bias. After that, what do I need after my trend? I have my what my optimum trading zone. Who can tell us what optimum trading zone I was using here? Can somebody tell me what optimum trading zone I was using? Guys, are you even listening?
I'm listening, my guy, but I'm still struggling with the settings of Zoom here.
But are you seeing my charts?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Proud. What optimum trading zone did I use here?
Yes, I think use the fair gap.
The fair value gap. Yes, we have a fair value gap. And let me just delete this one. All right, we have a fair value gap. What else do we also have here?
I think that is psychological.
Very good, excellent. We also have a retest of a what psychological level. It is coinciding with the what with the fair value gap. So we have two confluences, right? We have a fair value gap and a what? A psychological level. As we all know, I draw my psychological levels on current space after every 50 pips, and on gold, I now draw them after every 500 pips because it is moving very volatile nowadays. So we have, if I am to draw the chart pattern as it is, right? Just retracing as it is, right here. Right, let me just draw until where it is right now, right here. If I am to move this aside, we can see that we have a clear what? We have a clear market structure, right? We are continuously making what? Higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. This low is higher than this low. This high is higher than this high, than this high. And if I am to draw just a small square right around here, we can see that we have a what? A break and retest structure, right? I just drew the chart as it is. I just traced as it is, right? And then just moved it aside. So this is what we are having, right? We had our trend. We had our optimum trading zone or our area of interest. Now we also have what? Our additional confluence, which is the what? The break and retest. After additional confluence, what did I want? I wanted what? My entry signal. My entry signal, I had it in the 15 minutes, which is what? This pin bar. Just as soon as this pin bar closed, we entered right here. So this is the analysis of the trades we are taking live right now. Now we are going to break down of the trades that were taken what? Yesterday and the whole week, because the whole week I was busy. I did not have time to show you what was going on through. So let me just show you guys that I'm in these trades, right? I'm in these trades. You can see GBP USD and also what? AUD JPY. I'm in these trades, right? I might have entered late, but let me just put my stop loss to secure my positions right here. And also put a stop loss right here. Take profit, I don't care because we are having a live session, so I will be monitoring these charts. When I'm seeing rejections or when I'm seeing my point of exit, I'll just what? I'll just come and close it manually like so. So this is it, right? As you can see, guys, I now have a new account. It's because the competition account in what? In the competition for April, it finished. So the account automatically it will no more what? It will no more be working. So now we are moving on to what? We are moving on to the analysis for yesterday. The trades we had yesterday. This trade needed a bit of tenacity, guys. This trade was not good. It was painful. We had everything. We had our uptrend, right? According to our EMAs. I'm no more going to retrace them so that we can save much time. We had our EMAs, which had our what? Our session bias, right? And then we had our what? We also had our area of interest or our optimum trading zone. This trade, we took it in the what? 5 minutes, right here. That's where we took it. We took it at exactly this point, right? That's where we took it. So what happened with this trade is that as soon as I saw this pin bar and the trade was here, I didn't want to enter at this level because I knew that it would be expensive for me. I just told you, as we also on the signals I gave, right? I told you to take a what? To place a buy limit, right? I told you to place a buy limit odd because I didn't want us to what? To buy at that expensive position. And if we had bought at that expensive position, you see that we could have taken our what? would have taken a massive loss right here. So when I saw this pin bar, right, I told you to place buy orders right at this level. Why? Because I had an anticipation that it will come and retest, right, going back up just like it did here. As you can see at this area, it just retested the entry and just started going up, right, without giving a second confirmation. So that's what I was afraid of, right? So this trade now was not a 5-star trade. As you all know, I rank my trades, right? If it has everything up to exit, it will be what? 5-star. This one had a good trend, a good area of interest, right? It also had a good exit and a good what? Additional confluence, but it did not have a good entry because at the point now where when we were taken into this trade, right, there was a bearish engulfing candle. All the directions they were facing downward, right? All directions were facing downwards at this level. So it did not make sense, but we were already in. So we just left it to that. Anyways, going further, this was a what? Was a 4-star trade, but we had everything except for the what? For the entry signal. Right now, we are going to go to USD JPY. USD JPY. Yesterday we entered USD card, not USD JPY. We are going to USD card. Now, as you can see, let me just go on Chrome so that you guys can see, because I have not yet covered chart patterns on our series, if I'm correct. So for you to understand, let me just go on what? On Chrome so that you can what? I can show you what I'm talking about, right? Ascending channel. Now, I've traded these many times, right? As additional confluences. I've traded these many times. It is basic knowledge, or it is general knowledge, that every time when we have an ascending channel, right, the price always breaks to the downward side, right? As you can see on this image, we had an ascending channel right here. We had an ascending channel right here. And the trade broke to the downside. Every time they'll be giving us what? They can even give you that your take profit and what? Stop loss will be at this level. So using this general knowledge, right? This is how I entered this trade. This is how I entered this trade. As we can see, we have our support level here, right? After this support level, in the 15 minutes, we had a strong pin bar. If I am to zoom in my chart so that you can see clearly, all right? This is a gravestone doji. You don't even need to put the measuring tool to see that this on this candle, the body is 38% or less more than the whole candle. The more percentage are on the what? On the wicks of the candle. So having a gravestone doji on this what? Support level. I anticipated what? I anticipated a break and retest, right? So I did not I did not want the whole move like to capture the whole 1:3. Maybe it would retest, right? Respecting the channel, going back to this level, right? And start making rejections. We were okay with that because it would be approximately 1:2, and that's what we target every time. We target a minimum of what? Of 1:2. So this is just it, guys. This is how the markets do their thing. Sometimes we are correct, sometimes we are just completely wrong. We're just completely wrong that this channel was going to make a what? A reversal, because we are seeing an ascending channel, right? Whilst we are in a downtrend. A reversal pattern which shows a downtrend whilst we are in a what? In a downtrend. There's no other confirmation you would like. It's just like seeing a head and shoulders pattern whilst we are in a downtrend. So we had everything. And our trend was the what? The session buyers, right? Our EMAs, right? And we also have a market structure, right? Continuously making what? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, continuously making lower highs, right? And we also had our area of interest. What was our area of interest? It was a what? A 1 hour. It was a 4-hour fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken. It was a 4-hour fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just mark here and see where we are in the 4 hours.
Il a dit, quand vous avez une minute, rejoignez-moi à campagne. Alors, je suis allé quelques minutes après. Et il a dit, je suis évangéliste, je suis enseignant, je vais au collège biblique, j'enseigne dans un collège biblique.
Okay. Since it is not showing here, let's just open on the signals.
Alors j'ai dit, Seigneur, tu dois me convaincre. Et il a dit qu'en l'espace de quelques heures, son ami qu'il n'avait pas vu depuis 8 mois est venu et a dit.
Yeah, it was a 4-hour fair value gap. So we were retesting a 4-hour fair value gap right here. All right. Once we are retesting a 4-hour fair value gap, we also had the what? A channel. So our fair value gap was our what? Our area of interest. Then our additional confluence was an ascending channel. Pin bar, entry signal, everything good. This was a 5-star trade because it had what? It had everything. And the exit was according to plan. It was not manipulated. I did not adjust the stop loss or the take profit or anything. So just going here, I just want to show you guys how you should do your things, right? Record on every trade. Record on every trade. Record why you take those entries. I record, right, on a trade using screenshots, because the moment I click a screenshot, I know why I took that trade. The moment I put a screenshot, I know why I took that trade. So these were my positions yesterday. As I told you, I'm trading a new 15K account. You can see that the one which had a profit is a 4-star trade. Why? Because we did not have an entry signal. Exit was according to plan. That's good. Trend was, we had a trending market. We had our optimum trading zone, and we also had our additional confluence. But we did not have an entry signal. So this is a 4-star trade. This is a 5-star trade. Why? Because we had everything, and we did not manipulate the exit. So this is how you should record your journal. You should journalize everything, because if you also see scientists when they are making experiments, right? When they are testing their experiments, and whenever you're testing a new strategy, you should always journalize, right? So that you can see the consistency of the results that you are having. So continuing, we also have we also have trades which we had on Tuesday and Monday, right? On Monday we had gold. We are just going to move back in time here. On Monday we had gold. We did not have time to to do the trade breakdown for this trade. I remember telling you guys that because of these rejections, we might not gain our 1:3. So put our take profit on 1 to what? 1:2. And it just hit that position. Guys, this is just once in a while. This is just coincidence. This is just one time luck that where I put my take profit is where the market reversed. It's not because I know. It's not because I know. It is just once in a life, once in a while that these things just what that these things just happen. So we had everything also on what on our position on gold demand. We had our what downtrend. We had all three of them. Is different from this position when the 4 hour they were still showing an upward direction, but the 1 hour this time the 4 hour had already corrected. This is why I told you guys you should use what the 21 and 50 EMA, because if you use the 100 and what and 200, it's for someone who is trading the bigger time frames. While we are entering in the 5 minutes or in the 15 minutes, the move would have already gone. By the time the 200 EMA corrects its direction, the move you wanted to capture in 5 minutes or in 15 minutes, people would have already taken their TPs and gotten out of the market. Also, you're just what? Also, you're just still waiting for the EMA to what? To correct itself. That's why I mainly consider the what 1 hour and 30 minutes. But the 4 hour, it is what? It is for boosting confidence. Right here we have our left shoulder, head, and also what? Right shoulder. This is an additional confluence. Can you guys tell me what um can you guys tell me what uh, optimum trading zone I was having here? Can you hear me, guys? Hello? Am I still being heard?
Yes, you're being heard loud and clear.
Okay.
On which trade, my guy?
On this trade,
That was a break and retest of a psychological level that was used as the resistance.
exactly. We have a psychological level being used as a what? As a resistant. This is excellent eyes. And now let's move to other time frames. Right? Let's just move to other time frames. Let's just move to other time frames and look on that trade. And look on that trade again. Also in what? In other time frames. Right. So can you guys see also what was being retested here? Can you see? We have a fair value gap here. Can you see that? A bearish fair value gap. A 1 hour bearish fair value gap. So at this point, we're having two. It's not necessary to have two, but I'm just saying you can see that if this trade is hit stop loss, it is all well and good because you know that you did not gamble. You executed everything according to plan. You had a lot of confluences, but the market did not just play out because there will be manipulation, and it's also because that's how the system is. You need to have losses, right? So you can see that this one it played excellently because we are retesting the 1 hour fair value gap, and we are also retesting the psychological level. And I told you on gold my psychological level after every 500 pips, which shows how much strength they have, right? How much manipulation they have in the markets. So this was our area of interest, psychological level, as Itai told us, right? And we also had our fair value gap in the 1 hour. Now for our entry signal, who can tell us what entry signal we used here before we close this one? What was the entry signal? I told you entry signal, I use candlestick anatomy.
This
What
looks like a pin bar. This looks
what
like
did
a
you
pin
say,
bar.
Proud?
Pin bar.
Yes, we have a pin bar, right? We have a pin bar. We have more of a cross candle right here. And did you see that here we had two candlesticks that were confirming a downward momentum? We have a pin bar right here, right? And do you see that this is also a pin bar and a bearish engulfing candle?
This is engulfing everyone.
Yeah, it is engulfing because this is not a bearish candle. It's a small bullish candle. So this is a bearish engulfing candle, engulfing one, two, three, engulfing three candles before it. Let's just say 5 candles before it. All these candles were engulfed by this, showing what a very good bearish momentum. So, guys, let's just have a 10 minutes break. And after the 10 minutes break, Itai, our other analyst, will show us on the trades that he was analyzing on indices because I only focus on gold and current pairs. But when you see signals on indices, they will be sent by Itai. So he needs to explain his own charts. So I'm just going to stop this share and we'll resume in about 5 to 10 minutes. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah. And also, as you can see, in the 15 minutes, there was no entry signal. There was no entry signal. That's why I took a loss, guys. As you can see, not being patient, not waiting for one of the most important step in trading. You can take a loss, even if you are correct in direction in your analysis. But if you do not wait for your entry signal, you will lose. In this trade, we would have done this. We would have waited for a clean pullback, right? Then we would end after this engulfing candle. Wait, this one. After that, we would have ended, then put our stop loss somewhere here for safe it, right?
There's also a morning star on that area.
Yeah. I see. There it is. Then you end, right? So guys, an entry signal is so important. I lost money on that trade, as you can see. That is another loss that I took. Let me return it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so another loss that I took. This one didn't wait for entry signal. It's clear, break and test, okay, but there was manipulation of the market here. As you can see, there was news, inflation rate, right? Here, there was real manipulation. There was manipulation of the market from the US dollar currency, from other pairs. There was news also as well. Right. This one, on the psychological level, it was retested, right? Then ended after this pin bar. Yeah, as you can see, that pin bar, and ended only 1-3. It was okay for me. Didn't know that there was manipulation of the market. A real crash was about to happen, right? That is one and the same thing, guys. That is one and the same thing. On this one as well, there was a break and retest on this psychological level that was being played along, right? This one. then waited for an entry signal on this one. By this time, I had learned that you must wait for an entry signal because you will lose all your capital, even if you are correct in direction. Waited for an entry signal, right? Morningstar, there it was. Right. This is why this is one of the examples, guys, of real manipulation in the markets. The US state and Nasdaq is real manipulation from the market. By this time, the US dollar in other currency space, it was losing value. It was depreciating. Yes, I was buying, but the moment that I saw this rejection, I told people in the group that close your trades at 1:1. Otherwise, our break even was going to be hit because I knew that manipulation was going to kill us on this trade. So that is one of the secrets about trading these indices. As you can see, there was news. You do not trade news, even if you are correct in direction. So let me rush into Nasdaq and US state is the same, guys. Do not enter Nasdaq and US state using the same word simultaneously. Do not enter trades. It's like entering the same trade with double risk. You will lose it all. This one, I was waiting for a retest on the psychological level. Yes, we got it. But this was the same trade like the previous one that I last analyzed. You told people to put it break even by this point because I knew this was going to be manipulated by the US dollar. Yeah, took a break even then. It's okay. So those are one of the trades that I took. I also trade other pairs, guys. As you can see, there are a lot of pairs that I analyze. I use these pairs for checking. I trade these pairs. One, two. I use them to predict the manipulation that is going to take place in US state and Nasdaq. That is one of the purposes. But gold, I also trade it. Gold, I also do trade it. Let's start from here. I will only do brief explanation. Right. I saw that there was rejection. Where is my yeah, there. I saw that there was rejection from this from this zone, right? Then I said from this point, yes, it is still what downtrend, but I have noticed that we are about to reject this area. So I entered the position here, guys. My stop loss by then I was trading my 50k challenge that I bought from Funded Next, though I am having challenges with using wait, that is not FX Pro. With Funded Next, I had bought a 50k challenge, but I am facing problems with the prop firm. Maybe it is because I am in Russia or what, I really don't know. But I lost that account for no reason. So I ended here with a stop loss of 0.5% of 50k is 250. I entered the position. When I said buy and check the profit or loss that I was in, I saw that I was already in negative $60. Then I put a stop loss of 260. It was hit in a very short period of time. Then I said, it is okay. Then I re-entered here, guys, after seeing this candlestick pattern. Yeah, and it.
So, guys, as we continue, let's just look at our charts before we finish this live session. So, seeing here on our charts, AUD JPY is just playing well, and GBP USD it's making some retracement because of these psychological levels. I always tell you psychological levels are pretty hard, but I have faith in my fair value gap, so I'm just going to log this one on. So if GBP USD and then gold. These are the three signals which we sent in our live session, right? Gold, which had a retest of this fair value gap, and also what retest in the EMA, right? Right here. The retest in the psychological level, right here. So these are the what three trades which we had on our live session, and they are just running in profit. Let me see, because of commission and spread, mine my trades may not be in profit. Let me just show you what I'm at. Yeah, as I said, and maybe this one it was because of late entry. All right. So the GBP USD, you can see it's in a nice profit here, and then 8 JPY. And as you can see, I'm risking only $100, which is about 0.7% of my account. All right, I'm risking only $100. I risk 105, but because of commission, I put a stop loss of 100. Then the other one it goes what to commission and stuff. Right. And let me just what. And today, because we have news, our trades are at a take profit of 1.5. We are not holding them that long. Was as soon as the New York session kicks in, people will be crying blood. Tears of blood. So we are just having a 1:1.5 on all trades. All right. We are just targeting the next high or the next low. So this is it, guys. Until next time, I'll be updating you next week on how these trades play out. So until next time, guys, peace out.